Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having a fantastic weekend. It's a bit cold here. It's just about to get dark and I'm filming this on Wednesday because it's going to rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and according to the forecast, well into the holiday season. So this is the last day that the chicken and garden update could be filmed without me getting wet and cold. I can pick cold, I can have wet, but I don't really want to be wet and cold, and based on the forecast, that's exactly what's coming our way. I have a prop today. This is the 10ways GC600 Pro, I think is what it's called. It's a bike we've got on review. We will be reviewing it on the channel in the next couple of months. It's even got a light on it. That's kind of neat. And unlike a lot of electric bicycles on the market today, this is not a fat tyre electric bicycle. It's also not a bicycle that has a stupidly powerful electric motor that can propel you to well above legal limits in many places. No, this one is designed to be within the bounds of the law, and based on our experiences thus far, it's been really good. I did manage to drop it. I hadn't checked that this was properly tightened, and then the handlebars decided to change, and my own fault. Let's not go any further. But the reason I've got this here today, and the reason I'm here talking to you today, is because I want to have an honest conversation with you about the thought process that you go through when you have an errand to run. As many of you know, I live out here in the country, and I recently picked up a Vectrex VX1, an electric maxi scooter that was built in 2007. So 16 years old. It's got nickel metal hydride batteries. They're a bit naff. It doesn't have a great range, but it's just enough for me to go to the shops and back. And if I need to do slightly longer errands, I can just find a charging station in the nearby town and go and have a coffee for 30 minutes, and then I've got enough range to get home. And I do that because I don't want to take my F-150 Lightning, which the camera is perched on right now, and I don't want to take my wife's Bolt on every trip. If I don't need to carry a large amount of stuff, I don't bother taking them. Living out in the country though, I am a bit leery of taking a bike unless the weather's really nice and there's lots of cyclists on the road, in which case it's generally a little bit easier to exist. In the summertime, people expect to see cyclists. This time of year, especially as it gets misty and dark early, not so much. But a couple of weeks ago, Kate and Elliot had to make a trip where she lives in her local town in Washington State, and she took her bicycle. And she ran an errand on her bicycle, and coming back, she realised she had to run another errand, got back to the house, and the weather was nice, and it wasn't super cold. And she talked to us in our kind of internal discussion chat room about how she immediately jumped back to, oh, I'll just jump in the car and I'll go for a run. Or I'll jump in the car and go for a drive. And she realised as she was going through that thought process that, wait, I've just got back on the bike. The next errand I need to run is just down the road. I could ride my bicycle there. And it got me thinking, how many of us do that? How many of us have an errand that we want to do and go, I'll just jump in the car, instead of, I'll go for a walk, half a mile there, half a mile back, or I'll jump on my bicycle, whether it is a completely manually operated and powered one, or one like this, which is an electrically assisted bicycle. And it got me thinking, how many trips do we make in a week, in a month, that we really shouldn't be making in a big, heavy chunk of metal, but are? And even if that big, heavy chunk of metal is an electric vehicle, how many of those trips could be made in an alternative form? And so the question for you all today is, at what point, if you have a bicycle, if you do walk, at what point do you go, now I'm just going to take the car? How far away does the thing have to be that you are going to for you to go, I'll take my car or my truck or whatever? And how close does it need to be before you go, yeah, I'll just walk down there using my feet, or I'll just jump on my bicycle, or I'll just take the e-bike. At what point do those crossovers occur? And are they influenced more by how you are feeling or what the weather is like? I suspect for most of us, if it's a bit nippy outside, you probably go, you know what, I'm going to take a nice warm vehicle. And hand on heart, a couple of weeks ago, when we had the start of this cold spell, my wife and I made the decision to take the F-150 Lightning instead of the Chevrolet Bolt, because the F-150 Lightning has better seat heaters. They warm up faster and they stay hotter. But I do try, most of the time, to pick the right vehicle for the right task. And so I'm curious if you are the same way. Now, obviously, I am a little bit weird. I enjoy riding motorbikes when it's cold outside. I just bought a new pair of motorcycle gloves and they are a little bit on the cold side, but they are just about manageable. I recently picked up a jupe for my Vectrex so I can actually cover my lower half of my body while I'm riding if the weather's super cold. And that helps. If you can keep your legs warm, then the rest of you stays warm, obviously, pretty easily. And when I lived in the UK, I had a Renault Twizy. I actually owned 2 Renault Twizys during my time owning a Twizy. I had one and then I crashed it and then I got another one. And the Twizy also had a jupe. It didn't have any kind of heating for me. It had a heated front windscreen and that was it. And so I got used in the winter to jumping in my Twizy and running local errands with, no windows, at least to begin with. I did get windows later on, but no windows to begin with. Very, very cold and having to deal with sub-zero temperatures, sub-zero Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And even though it was cold outside, the Twizy was the right vehicle because it was more efficient. It allowed me to park more easily. Pick your poison. So tell me in the comments below, at what point do you pick this? At what point do you take your car? I'm not interested in shaming people. I'm not interested in saying, oh, well, this person is doing better than this person. I'm just curious. I just want to get a general feel. And do you ever get into that guilt phase where you go, I really should walk, or I really should bike, or I really should leave the car at home? And then you go, nah, screw it. And I think that's probably okay too. But in the long run, obviously the fewer big hunks of metal on the road with one person behind the wheel, the less congested our roads become. So let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got any thoughts, make sure you leave them below in our Discord chat room, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of the more than 1,500 people who help fund this channel through Patreon and YouTube, helping us cover our bills, pay our team, and making sure that we can remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed below, just follow the links. There are a range of different tiers you can sign up for from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, just about $10.08 a year. A huge welcome to our newest supporters: Conrad Young, Neon Frog, Siobhan Greeny, Alan Savage, Scotty, Ray Mario, Jennifer, Nesklova, and the Lord of Chaos. Thanks for becoming part of the TE crew. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have an old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at. The address is also linked below. And if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store also in the down below. We've got some great content coming up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you again soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we here also think that this one is well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving.